was gonna tweet this the first take. Stephen A. Smith, Molly, my man Max Kellerman, but this is specifically aimed at Will Cain. I watched y'all today, and today would be what is it, March 20th, 2017, when you talked about the Confederate flag and its symbol. Let me read something to y'all, and I'm amazed because Will Smith comes across as being very, very intelligent, and he's not coming across as he is. But if I research it, if I can find it via research, you should be able to. This is going to take a minute, but let me just go ahead and wrap it up. First of all, allow me to say that I enjoyed the show. That being said, let the education process begin. To be fair, the lesson is mostly directed at you, Will Cain. The swastika is known for more than just the Jewish Holocaust to some other people, because that was your claim. You said that the Confederate flag meant something to other people beside from its association with racism. The the swastika is known the swastika has its origins in Hinduism, Buddhism, and Jainism. Its roots go back some 11,000 years. In Sanskrit, it means any lucky or auspicious object. I'll say that again. Any auspicious or lucky object. Now, that certainly is different from what it stood for in Nazi Germany, but you don't hear anyone that practices Hinduism, Buddhism, or Jainism saying, that symbol means something different to us, so let's fly it. They all understand, as Stephen A. Smith tried to tell you, that the swastika, when it comes to the Jewish community, stands for the Jewish Holocaust. Like he said, that should be simple enough. Anyway, that's my first point. My second point is this. Pure and simple, the southern states that seceded from the Union were traitors to their country. We already had a country, in effect, the United States of America, right? We already know that. I'm a veteran, and whenever you turn on your country, you're a traitor. It's pure and simple. That's what the southern states did. Is that the regional pride that you're talking about? Being able to turn your back on your country? If that's what you're proud of, so be it. You speak of regional symbols. States have their own flags. That's the regional symbol. We have a national flag, one national flag, and we have 50 regional flags. Why do we have another flag for the regions in addition to? Why do we have another national flag in addition to the one that we already have? That makes no sense. Because see, we already got the stars and stripes, which we call it Old Glory. That's our flag. We don't need another one. So please don't ever tell Max Kellerman that because he's from the North, he doesn't understand what the South is. I was raised in the South, Camilla, Georgia, during the 80s. Because see, you told Max you was raised in Texas. I was raised in the South, Georgia, during the 80s, living with my grandparents. Let me back the camera away from you. I was living with my grandparents. I was going to high school at that time. So don't tell Max he don't know. Because what Max did was he did his research. Research is key. Research is fundamental. He didn't turn a blind eye to what he read. He just merely told you this is what it is. What you want to do and Confederate sympathizers want to do is make it out to be something more, when really, at the end of the day, it's not. So just don't do that. Don't insult that man's integrity like he can't be educated. You really come across like a sympathizer to the Confederacy. Because even though you don't wave the flag and you don't have it on your clothes or anything like that, you trying to understand. Well, I'm going to put it to you like this. If I see Stephen A. Smith, cameras rolling, slap you in your face, I'm not finna sit up here and say, well, I got to understand why Stephen A. Smith slapped him. No, right is right, wrong is wrong. You just got slapped. There was no cause for it. So let's not sit up here and try and justify this Confederate flag being flown. Now, you told Stephen A. Smith, I'm going to get to my third point. You told Stephen A. Smith that getting rid of the flag would make matters worse. So I got Dylan Roof going to go up in a church, shoot 9 people. We got pictures of Dylan Roof holding an assault rifle, and he got the swastika and the Confederate flag flying in the background. He ain't got the American flag, and he ain't got a 50 state. He ain't got the South Carolina flag or the North Carolina. He ain't got that. He got the Confederate flag, and he got the swastika. The couple that just got convicted for them and a bunch of other people driving around a girl's birthday party black girl, black family. They had the Confederate flag, and I'm pretty sure they got some pride going on with it. The Confederate flag, not the American flag, not a state flag, but the Confederate flag. When you have the Confederate flag, you're reenacting the Civil War. Now let's talk about the Civil War and why it started. Because see, obviously, even though I have access to data, you got access to data, you just choose to either look another way or you're blind to the information that's in front of you. But let's take a look at it. Confederate states attacked the United States forts. They attacked the fort. They attacked several forts of the United States. One in particular was Fort Sumter on April 1961. See, the southern states started the war. See, if I start a war, even by myself right now, if I walk outside right now and just go and say F America or do whatever and go blow up a whole Capitol building, which I would never do because like I said, I'm a veteran, I would be seen as a traitor to my country. If I tried to turn on the presidency, who I'm not fond of right now, well, I don't know him, so I'm not fond of his ways. I'm not going to say I dislike the man. I don't know Donald Trump. I don't like his ways. But if I turned on him in an aggressive fashion, and it was one that some could say was an attack against the United States of America, that makes me a traitor. You understand what I'm saying? Or should I say traitor? See, you got to understand this thing for what it is. The United States was already in place. You had some states that said, we don't like how the northern states are trying to do things, so we finna turn against y'all. That's a traitor. Why are we trying to justify traitorism? But let's think about why they started this thing. They started it because when it was all said and done, because you had 7 states that did it initially, but the first 6 states that wanted to succeed, their slave population was at 49% of their own population. 49%. And the chief resource for those southern states was cotton. Well, who was the chief labor force for the cotton? It was the slave. Come on. You got to do better than that. Please don't ever come on. I wish to God you would ever come on First Take and they had me sit across you and debate you on this particular topic, because really today what you sound like was an uninformed. Uninformed, as Max said, you either uninformed or you ignorant, or words to that effect. But you sound like an uninformed sympathizer. You want to come up with a reason to excuse it. You want to come up with a reason for it to be tolerated. When I'm going to be honest with you, there's no reason. As Stephen A. Smith told you today, if it's good enough for Jewish Americans for us not to fly the swastika, even though to some other people, some other races, it means something totally different, then we got to get that. So you're not going to sit up here and say, well, man, you should just move past racism. But you want to keep waving in my face every day. Hey, this is when we was lynching y'all. Hey, we went to war because we were afraid that the northern states were going to get rid of slave labor, which made up 50% of our labor force. I'd have been upset too. I ain't going to keep going. Y'all got it. That's my time. Steve, Max, Molly, even you, Will. I like y'all, but Will, don't you ever get on First Take again. And Steve, you being an African American, you need to call him back on the show, research everything I just did, and you need to tell him a brand new one in front of America and everybody. Peace.